Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series on homeopathy with our beloved Dr. Pachegaonkar. Since we are on food, and shall we take up gluttony?
Pardon?
Gluttony.
Yeah,
It's an important similar subject, yes.
so gluttony is again something where the person never feels satiated, goes on eating enormous quantity of food. We have seen some children where, and again, it's a hormonal imbalance. As I told you, the ghrelin is secreted so much that it is not controlled, or it is the lack of leptin. Leptin is something which inhibits appetite. And if lack of leptin is there, then definitely person goes on feeling hungry and therefore never gets satiated. That's what I said. Eagerly the person goes on waiting till there is some space in stomach to eat. And that too, I have seen children where the gluttony goes on gaining weight at the age of 13, 14 with a moderate height. The child is 104 kilogram. We have one child here whom we are treating. The boy is hardly 14 years age and his weight is 104 kilograms with 162 or 163 height and goes on eating. It's a gluttony, a typical example of gluttony.
Is he aware of it? Is he aware?
Oh yes, they have come for treatment. That's why they are aware of it.
Okay.
And therefore, this child, we are treating, of course, based on totality, we are treating, and based on mental symptoms, physical symptoms, for the history from infancy, even the family history.
Yeah, but with a young child, is the young child aware of his gluttony?
Yes, but the child says, I'm like addict to food. The child says irresistible. I do understand, but then it's like a typical addict people. The child says, at least now I would eat. Later on I may not. But now what? And that now every time prompts him to eat, because that is the hunger. That is actually the level of crisis in the system.
So, in addition to these things that you speak about, it's also mental.
Yes.
Very much so.
Actually, what happens? There are things which do not attract his mind. He dwells upon it. He doesn't have any positive thing to distract from food. And therefore, again, the thing becomes worse with that. If, say, child is concentrated or is able to concentrate on some painting, then all his focus would be diverted to this, and therefore he may not eat for a while because he has some good healthy distraction. Like he says, now I need food, so I must eat it now. Even if I'm aware that I'm overdoing it, I must do it because I feel I need it, I relish it. Like that, if he gets something positive which can attract his focus of attention, then maybe his body will get used to these spells where the person is distracted from eating. So it's again, see, mind and body, they are all connected.
Sure.
See, it's a hypothalamus which governs this. And if hypothalamus is something between brain and our body, hypothalamus is something which is a junction box for brain and body. And therefore, if there are positive distractions for mind, and if mind doesn't get attracted again to this appetite, then it would be a wonderful thing for the person to treat gluttony.
What happens to these hormones that you've been talking about under the stress of too much eating?
It becomes vicious. What happens when too much of supply is there? Body tries to store it. Body, all reserves When supply is more and demand is less, consumption is less, there would be storage. And that storage again would be like, where, say, for fat. If it is stored in liver, that fatty degeneration occurs because then liver function gets hampered.
Right.
So all these things follow. Obesity again leads to fatty liver, then it can lead to even diabetes, it can lead to so many heart.
Yes.
Because if person, suppose the boy, now this boy, his legitimate weight would be like 60, optimum weight would be 60 kilograms, then he is having 104 kilograms. That means 44 kilograms he is carrying.
Yes.
At the
Extra.
same
Yes.
time, not only carrying, but it is being maintained in the body. See, body has to maintain temperature, body has to keep it live, it has to protect from any necrosis or degeneration. All these cells have to multiply. Trillions of cells, are there which are being maintained properly, and every 3 to 4 months, every cell is a new cell. So this sort of a regeneration process is maintained. So it's quite a stressful situation to maintain overweight.
Yes. But often we see people in their 50s and 60s who are active and yet grossly overweight.
Yes, but later they start failing.
Ah.
So you see, up to the age of 60, the maintenance is very good.
Ah.
But then when there would be senility, like old age starts, old age doesn't start in one day, you see. It starts progressing. And then there would be always a load. So quality of life will be poor. Not necessarily there would be a shortening of life because of that. But the quality of life definitely will be affected by obesity.
Thank you very much. Namaste.